Since Joe Biden took office, nearly 10 million migrants have crossed our southern border, most of them illegally. 90% of them are being released into the country within 36 to 48 hours of being detained. This is unsustainable. And the failure of this administration to act has created a catastrophe, not just at the border, but in cities all across America, including New York City. My district is just north of New York City. A lot of folks that work in the city, but we're all impacted by it as taxpayers in New York. It's costing the city and state roughly $4 billion a year to deal with this migrant crisis. So the president, the administration, Senate Democrats need to act. House Republicans passed H.R. 2, the Secure the Border Act, back in May of 2023. Senate Democrats refused to do anything on that until House Republicans said that we will not advance a supplemental package until the border is addressed. And so, from our vantage point, there needs to be a good faith negotiation.
OK, and on that, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer came out of the meeting and said the chances of getting a deal done by the looming funding deadline of the end of this week was more than 50% in the Senate. But as you're saying there, the House is a different situation entirely. Do you think a deal can be done before that deadline runs out on Friday night?
Well, it's two separate issues. We're going to pass a continuing resolution by the end of this week to keep the government funded into March.
You're confident that will happen? Sorry to interrupt you there, Congressman, but are you confident that will happen, that you have all of the Republicans in the House aligned on that?
Well, we'll have enough votes to pass it through the House between Republicans and Democrats, the continuing resolution, to keep the government funded through the beginning of March so that we can finish our appropriations work. With respect to the supplemental aid package and the border agreement being worked on in the Senate, they may pass it by Friday or Monday of next week. But again, that still needs to be negotiated with the House.